Alright folks, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Get a dev double O. Let's go. So folks, I want to get back at it here again because I got asked this question another million times, like the other question I mentioned before, as far as should I take the leap? Yes, take the leap. And then the next question I get, next golden question I get is, what programming language should I learn? Let's find out. Alright guys, like I said, get a dev double O. Let's just jump into it. So look, you're wondering what programming language you should learn. To me, asking that question is like asking, should I breathe? Should I breathe? I definitely should breathe. I better breathe. This is how it works. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You're getting these foundational programming languages you have to have regardless the route you go. Unless if you're going straight back and all that stuff. But listen, fundamentally, if you're looking to be very successful, you have to have those three pillars for sure. Now here's the thing. This is the follow-up question I usually get. How long does it take to learn this stuff? So the real answer for this is, see, here's the thing. People love to get numbers behind stuff, and you guys need that validation from someone who's been in programming for years or who just got in, and you're thinking it's a magic number to how long it takes to learn this stuff, and it's really not. There's too many different factors. Most of the responses you get is like a few weeks, and that's for an 18-year-old who probably doesn't have a life, who doesn't have a family, and don't do anything. Like, so that's not gonna be the same as somebody like me, 35, 2 kids, raising a family, full-time job. Like there's a lot of different factors. So the answer to that question is as long as it needs to take, guys. It's as long as it needs to take until you get fundamentally sound with HTML and CSS. Once you feel like you can do some things, build a little bit of a simple web page, not the best styling right now, you're still growing and learning. But after that, then make your move to JavaScript. Here's the tricky part. People get caught in this shiny object syndrome thing, and they're thinking that, you know, now this is time to learn React or Vue or Angular or any hot thing that's out there right now. Gatsby, Next.js, like you should start getting out of hand, or hey, Laravel, like you just go all over the place. Django, and oh, I want to do some Python. Slow your roll. This is the part that everyone misses. JavaScript, no one is saying stay in JavaScript, but you want to go ahead and hang tight and grasp the fundamentals. That's your variables, that's your functions, that's your classes, all the basic fundamentals anybody would tell you anyway. They're telling you that for a reason. If you learn it here, it looks the same just about everywhere else. The only difference is the syntax. The most differences between multiple, like all these different programming languages, number one is the syntax, and you can probably put these two together. It's the architecture. So as far as how you're building projects with it, so the structure is almost even virtually the same. So get that out of your head. You're getting at least the fundamentals so that you know how to do some logical things with your code. That's when you pivot to Python, pivot to Ruby, any of those, right? And that's when you can even consider hanging tight in JavaScript and leveling up, then entertain your React and all those things. Because at the end of the day, JavaScript is probably the longest one out of all three of them. You're never really gonna master JavaScript. JavaScript is just a beast of its own. So it's gonna take time. Mastering JavaScript to me is, I'm like, I wouldn't compare it, but mastering Java's a freaking nightmare. I hate Java. Once you get those fundamentals, make your pivots, then that's when you can go to these different programming languages. Now, with that being said, the real question to ask yourself is, what's going on in my neck of the woods? So these foundational programming languages are a must-have. HTML, CSS for sure. JavaScript, enough to where I got fundamentals, but then figure out what's going on in your neck of the woods. So that could be PHP, which is probably going to be PHP. Probably PHP and Java. Oh, I hate Java. But PHP, even Python. This is when you're going to see all these different ones. Cater to that, all right? Cater to the need of what's in your area. So React may not be hot in your area, which I don't see how it's not, but it may not be hot in your area. Find what's hot, all right? Because once you get in, just get in. Once you get yourself in there, you can start to pivot, start to see how all this stuff comes together, and how you can start doing some really amazing things when you allow yourself the opportunity. All right, so don't shut yourself off to one programming language, because they're tools at the end of the day. A developer is a developer, right? So I always say too that I'm a front-end developer, but I do full stack stuff too, and all these things every day. So you can say what you like, but don't make sure you tie yourself down to that. Also, another pro tip is, if you really want to find full enjoyment out of your first gig or anything you're looking to do with code, imagine your environment, the culture you want to be in, right? The culture you want to work for. Everyone likes to think Fang is where it's at, and now you're probably gonna produce burnout, a slew of other things. But go there if that's your thing, go for it. But I'm saying more so the work-life balance. Is it flexible? Does it pay very well? Some of the stuff that you don't ever pay attention to, especially my young devs out there. Is it good health insurance? Is it good 401? Like, these are the things you need to start thinking about if you're not. Or, hey, I can't think of any good culture fit. I'm flying solo. You can totally do that. The way the world is now is so accessible. Fiverr, Upwork, TopTool, Freelancer. My goodness, the list goes on and on. So there's work. There's plenty of work out there, But you gotta have definitely a go get it kind of attitude. Very aggressive, and be there, rise to the occasion quickly. So if that's your thing, go for it. Anyway, folks, that's all I have. I just wanted to kind of just do a quick little gist here, because I hear it too many times. I hear the question. Everyone wants to know what to do, where to go, and then you're kind of starving for a content creator, somebody you highly you recognize or respect, however you name it, and you're looking for that guidance. And the real guidance that most of them probably give you, or they should anyway, is HTML, CSS, some JavaScript fundamentals, then pivot on your preference, but more so a neck of the woods, right? What's going on in your area, so you can get that dev job. It's about getting in. Just get in. That is enough, folks. Get a dev double. You already know. So if you haven't by now, like, share, subscribe. I got tired of doing the shameless plug stuff, so I'm just gonna hey, you start seeing it float around all in the video. You've probably already seen it already. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, folks. Till next time, we out.